Welcome to the Heat versus the World podcast. And now, stand up and make some noise for your host, Joel Jacob.
Yes. Glad to have you back around. I know it said it's Heat versus the World, but this is a collab with the Biscayne Breakdown. Of course, I'm Kay. I'm usually the guy talking you through this process on the Biscayne Breakdown. But like I said, with the collaboration we got going on today, just to talk about a couple of things. Oh, yes, just to talk about a couple of things. Brought a couple of the guys with me from the crew. Of course, we got a familiar face in your upper left-hand corner. That's Joel, the wholesale capitan, the one that make everything go. He out there searching for the deals, getting the money. Say hi to the people, Joel.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Let's get right to it. Let's talk some Heat basketball.
Of course, we couldn't do this thing by ourselves, so we brought the coach with us, somebody to keep us straight, got to draw the plays up, somebody to make sure we're in the right position. In your bottom right-hand corner below me, we got Alex. Say hello to the people, Alex.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? So let's get it.
Yeah, very cool and to the point. You see what we're saying? Like, it's on to next week. Of course, then we got to bring the excitement if we're going to bring the sophistication and the execution. I got my man Kev in the house. I can't wait to hear what he got to say. I'm sure it's been a very interesting time in his mind. Say hey to the people, Kev.
What's the deal with y'all, man? It's glad to be back. It's been a minute, but we here, man. I'm glad to chop it up with y'all. Let's get it rocking.
Absolutely. So listen, like I said, this is the Heat versus the World Biscayne Breakdown collaboration. Usually with the Biscayne Breakdown, we got my guy Deem in here. Shout out to him. Hopefully he can make it through. If not, we'll be sure to relay what he says and relay everything y'all say about him to him. With that being said, let's get right into it. Miami Heat Media Day. It's been so much going on in the last couple of weeks. I mean, you don't want to say months because there was actually nothing going on for a couple of months, it seems like. But in the last week or so, man, things have just went haywire from the perspective of trades, roster makeup, what we thought was going to happen, what didn't happen, what has happened as a result of. And to get to the last stage of, grief, acceptance, I would say, we're at that point. Now, one guy that isn't going to accept anything, especially any particular look or any way that you feel about his looks, the first thing I got to mention is Emo Jimmy. Boy came in there with a silk press today, didn't he? I mean, laid it all the way down to the front. Let me get some thoughts on Jimmy's look. I'm sure everybody has seen the look by now. We're coming to you live on social media on YouTube from what I'm understanding. So, I mean, if you just scroll up and down your local timeline, you cannot help but see that the boy got a silk press. He looked like he needed to be playing a pop guitar. I mean, if he popped out in a kilt, I would be a little concerned, but it wouldn't shock me. Jimmy's whole thing for me is knowing that the media in the NBA specifically is going to have to use these photos for at least 3 months. So, he's Jimmy doing Jimmy, trolling hard. Again, what are y'all thoughts on it, man? Just we got to, start light before we get into the murky waters of what this season might look like.
Man, our boy Antonardo tweeted it. He was pretty much like, Jimmy's such a treasure because he takes a lot of like the negative light, obviously, that he'd have been seeing with missing on Dame. And he just brings a joy and positivity, all that stuff. Me personally, I really don't care. I feel like it's cool. Like, I guess it's fun to him, whatever. It's nice for people to talk about him, whatever. But like, it goes back to last year too when he had the fake extension dreads, whatever you're gonna call it. Like, it just take a little spotlight off of what happened this past offseason, not getting Dame and just kind of being quiet. But I mean, man, I don't care. As long as he's doing his job, bro, which he has always done since he's been here, that's all I care about, dog. So it is crazy. I ain't gonna cap, but
yeah,
we'll live with it. It ain't gonna be in by the time the actual games start being played. That's not gonna be the. I hope to God,
because he'll sweat that all the way out. The boy went from kinky twist to a silk press. I'm trying to tell you, it's crazy. What you got, Alex? What you think about the look? Just give us a couple words, man.
Hey, man, like I woke up this morning and checked my Instagram, and I just had a whole crap ton of messages about people. Oh, this what your boy on?
This your boy, yeah. This your boy.
This how y'all coming? Oh, y'all Jimmy broken and all this. I'm like, man, and all I've responded to everybody was, Jimmy is the biggest troll in the league. Like he's top 5. Obviously, like Kev said, him showing up last year with freaking extension dreads, like come on now. So I was honestly surprised, especially like he got the piercings and done, like, and the fingernails painted black. Like he embracing it.
They took they fakes, right? I mean, do y'all know if they temp that can't be real, right?
Gotta be temporary.
I think it's temporary. I think they gonna take that off. But Joel, you muted, bro. I say, but what you say?
Typical Joel.
He good?
Go ahead, finish, Alex. We'll let Joel get in a second.
Say, yeah, but yeah, man, he just a huge troll, and again, like Kev said, like it don't really matter to me because I know what we got when Jimmy steps on that basketball court. He gonna be a dog, and he gonna handle his business. So how he looking don't matter to me.
That's a fact. I mean, somebody labeled it as emo Jimmy, and maybe he is emotional. So hopefully he is taking it personal, because like I said yesterday, via Twitter, like supervillain, the greatest supervillain in the world, and supervillain Jimmy is a different animal. Joel, you were trying to say something? I mean, or were you trying not to let us hear your bird?
Oh yeah, that one thing, don't mind my bird, but I just gotta listen. I really do hope with Jimmy, whatever look he pulls up, because at the end of it, but I really hope those are. I really don't want to see him become to a like a Dennis Rodman 2.0. So please tell me those things are temporary. But yeah,
that's strong, Joel. That's strong. You just called a man the worm.
I mean, listen. Like I said, whatever look Jimmy comes out with, I saw the piercings and everything. That's Jimmy, but the piercing he knew, and it just caught me off guard. So
I got you. So it looks like we had Dean pop in the meantime. Dean, say what's up to the people while at the same time telling us how you feel about Jimmy's new look, man. I'm sure you got a lot to say. You always do. Joe was kind of lamenting the fact that you weren't in the building because we didn't have enough negative energy, it seems like. But Murphy's Law, as your header here, what can go wrong will go wrong. Tell us about what's going wrong.
We being positive today. We being positive today.
Am I not always? Oh, you saying you being positive? Okay.
Being positive today. Shout out the emo Jimmy. Let's get into it, man. I'm ready to turn up, man. I'm just ready to talk Heat basketball, man. I'm ready to turn up. October 2nd is right around the corner. Can't nothing. What Beyonce say? You can't break my soul. Can't nothing break my soul. Let's go. Let's turn up, man.
Did he pull out a Renaissance reference? Joel left us for a second, people. I'm sure y'all heard his bird going nuts in the background. Forgive him. He'll probably be back. But between Joe's bird going ham and Dean dropping a Renaissance reference, I mean, there's nothing else for us to do but talk hoops. Look, man. All right, let's get right into it. Y'all know me. I'm going to try not to pull the leg too much. I'm going to try to, not pull no punches. I'm going to try to be positive. I'm going to try to be honest. But y'all know I'm considering myself a real optimist. So I'm going to present it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Kyle Lowry, word is he hasn't said a thing. Word is, he isn't talking to anybody. If you look at multiple reports, from 5 reasons. If you go to other people, I want to say I or even Barry have words on it. It appears that Kyle Lowry is content on just, playing his position, so to speak, sitting back. Or do you feel this is something more? Let's get a couple words on that. Because for me, I think that's important when the guy's making $30 million, but you're looking for him to say something. You need a certain level of maturity there, even if you're not looking for him to get real answers. And I'm not saying he's being immature. I'm just saying this will make you wonder how he's taking it all. Don't want him to start anything. I'm just saying. How do you guys feel about the situation? Do you feel like it's appropriate that he isn't speaking? Do you feel like he's feeling some type of way? Just give me a couple of words on that. Let me let you get going here, Dean, because you just got here. So go ahead and say something.
Man, listen, we all know how I feel about Kyle Lowry. at least I can say, he's showing up to work. Let's just move on from him. It's just plain and simple. Let's just move on from him. If this is attitude coming into the season, then I think it's just time to move on from him. He didn't do much last year anyway. So that's all I can say. Let's just move on from him. Let's grant him his wishes and let's find the best trade out there and move on from him. Like it's just plain and simple. Like that's all I got to say about the Kyle Lowry situation.
I'm sure that's the thought, and that's something we'll circle back around to as this conversation progresses here. Kev, what you got on Kyle Lowry and his situation? How you feel about his not speaking? What does it say? Does it say anything, or is it just business as usual?
I think it could be a mix of both. I really don't know. To me personally, my biggest knock on Kyle is it's not even that deep. Like most Heat fans hate him for some reason, which I don't understand. Like I don't think he's been terrible. Now, do I think he's played up to his contract? Not really, but bro, my biggest thing with him is the same thing as been since we got him a couple years ago. Bro, just look at the rim and be aggressive, bro. We know you can facilitate. We know you can make Bam better. We know you can make guys' lives easier, which he's done a pretty good job of. We know he's gonna hold it down on the defensive end. Excuse me. But bro, just look at the rim. Like we already lack a whole bunch of firepower, so we need any type of scoring punch that we could possibly get. And that's the one thing he hasn't really offered us like that. I don't know why that's been the case because he's shown in spurts. Like what was that game 1 or 2 in Boston where he had that run that flipped the game on his head last year? Like he's shown it. Like he's capable of it. It's not like he's just cooked, but that's always been my biggest thing, bro. Just be aggressive, looking for your shot sometimes, bro. Like we need it. We need any amount of scoring that we can possibly get. So it could be either or. It could be not that big of a deal. It could just be he just about his business and ready for the season to start. Who knows? He's up in age. I think he's 35, 36. So like he probably tired of media days. You know what I'm saying? He's probably been through so many of those. It's just like whatever to him now. So we'll see. I don't know how I feel about trading him just because like I don't really see another point guard out there. And if we're being honest, we need a point guard, right? Like Gabe is gone. There's nobody to fill into that spot. Jimmy already does enough, so I'm not trying to have him do any more of that. And then Bam does it too. So it's like we're not trying to add on to their plate any more than we already got to. So if a trade is out there, definitely look into it. But I mean, right now the market ain't looking too hot. So we'll see I think in due time the truth will be revealed.
So Kevin's more it is what it is, it seems. I'm not worried about what you do at media day. Just shoot that tater when you're in between the lines. I feel you. What you think, Alex? How you feel about it?
Man, like I was one of those people who, in my circle, when we got Kyle a few years ago, I was like super excited. Felt that he was gonna fit well. The first run with us, he got in the playoffs, got hurt. Last year, kind of sort of fell off a cliff. At one point, we tried to get rid of him. It didn't work out. Then he came back off the bench role, and it kind of sort of worked out. I mean, we got to the finals with him playing that role. But now this year, it's honestly just like a kind of sort of like we just got to survive. Like that's how I feel. I was surprised before we got on here. I looked and I saw like the Heat page just dropped a thing with like Jay Rich giving out stickers, and Kyle was one of the people who he gave stickers to, and that was basically like the first sighting of Kyle from anybody on media day. So he is there, which honestly shocked me. But yeah, man, I'm just like
talk more. Hold on. Touch more of that. What? Curious. I just want you to tell the people why did that shock you that he's there?
Because like all day, I mean, everybody's seeing stuff with Jimmy, with Bam, like we've seen pictures and videos of everybody, and that was the first thing that we seen with Kyle, a video that was about Jay Rich, but Kyle just was one of the people, like I said, that he gave a sticker to, because like, and on my Twitter timeline, like other people who follow the Heat was talking about the fact that, oh, we ain't seen Kyle. Where's Kyle? Oh, what does this mean? Kyle not talking. Kyle this, that, third. Like, so he's there. He's being a professional. He'd have been doing this for 16, 17 years. But right now, I think it's just whatever we can get from him at this time, that's what we're going to get. And we just got to be okay with it, and unless we end up moving him.
I mean, I think that's the thing that we're all looking at. What Kyle Lowry are we getting? Is that okay? And if we decide that it's not okay, which a lot of people I'm sure have already decided, is there a possibility to even do anything with that? Or do you just have to wait it out at this point? I think that's the question that's going to sort itself out as the season begins to unfold and as more information starts to reveal itself. This may be a result of something he knows or that everybody else know that we don't know. I'm just saying it's just like y'all all making some good points, and just to kind of expound or to, like, I guess offer a response to what you said. It's good thoughts, but it's just so much that unknown, and he's not saying anything. They don't have the situation. Joe, what you got on the situation, man?
I mean, all I'll say is this. I mean, the thing with Kyle is that he's been in like so much rumors since this past trade deadline. I think a lot of us was just anticipating he wouldn't be on the team by then. So when the Heat didn't really make any moves, come to trade deadline, and he was still there, it was kind of awkward because everybody, even like the Heat fans that wanted to see the best out of Kyle, I think they all realized like, it's probably best that we move on. So for him to have stayed on the team, even by then, it was a surprise to a lot of people. But, we still found a way to make things work with him, and he still had good games. It was Kevin who mentioned, if you look back, especially in the playoffs, a couple good games against Boston, and had a couple good moments here and there in that postseason run. So, now it's kind of weird again because here we are. He's unexpectedly survived another trade rumor and stuff. Like, I really hope things go well because you never want the vibes to be off. I know a lot of people felt that way going back to last season because there was just so much stuff going on. We missed out on Donovan Mitchell. We missed out on KD. And, we were seeing the tweets, Tyler tweeting out, keep that same energy, all that other stuff. Now we're heading into this media day, and it's like Tyler is in an upbeat attitude. I think he's just kind of laughing at it at this point because him being in trade talks at this point is inevitable. Like, if a player is going to become available and he are apparently on that star's radar, he's going to say whatever. But for Kyle, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to like stir the pot and say like, oh, he's just fed up with the team. But, I'm genuinely curious to see like what's going through his mind. And, hopefully like his head is at the right place by the time we start the season off. Because, another point, that Kev mentioned, like we're not, when you look at our point guards right now, we're not exactly stacked, in that field specifically. So I just want, to work with what we have and make sure that all of our guards specifically are at their best because, we don't have Kyle, we don't have Max, so specifically, I mean, we don't have Gabe, we don't have Max. So I just want Kyle to go out there, and even though, he's at a point in his career where he's not exactly going to be the Kyle that we would have wanted him to be, I still want him to go out there and just bowl out because that's all we got right now. I mean, we don't have Dame, and it is what it is. So, if he could just go out there and just put up some good minutes whenever he's on the floor, that's just all we need from him. So, yeah.
You kind of touched on something that we're going to get into next, which was the whole Tyler Herro of it all. I almost stopped you, but luckily you veered back into what we wanted to discuss at that moment. Joe, don't do that. Don't do that. Not on my show. Don't you do that. Anyway, Dean said he had something to say in response to what it is you had to say on Kyle Lowry. Joe, you want the floor, Dean? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did kind of find it weird that when they kept bringing up the whole point guard thing, nobody mentioned Kyle Lowry's name. If you listen when they asked Bo about the whole point guard situation, he brung up Jay Rich, he brung up Caleb Martin, he brung up Tyler. He never mentioned anything about Kyle Lowry. I did kind of find that weird. But now also, this was last season when Kyle Lowry was hurt. I knew someone in Kyle Lowry camp, and I asked them about the when would Kyle be back? A situation like that, and he specifically said he's not sure if Kyle's going to come back and play for Miami again the rest of the season. This was last year, and this somebody who's like real tight with Kyle Lowry, like real tight. So I could believe it. So I do believe that situation there is kind of sour with Kyle and the organization, but he's being a veteran. He's not on no James Harden type time where he's just not showing up to media day at all. I feel like Kyle doesn't want to be there, and I feel like it's part of the front office who kind of don't want Kyle there. But I do kind of find that we're on both fronts that, nobody is really saying much about the other.
And I'm gonna spend like 2 seconds there, and I literally mean 2 seconds. And if each of y'all want 2 seconds, I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds. Y'all see, I'm gonna give you 2 seconds. No, we do not want James Harden. Alex.
I'm kind of sort of up in the air about it, especially with us losing out on everything. I'm like, hey, if anybody can make it work, maybe Spo could. But
fair take. I understand the sentiments. I completely understand the sentiments. I almost agree. I mean, at this point, like this version of James Harden, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know
if it's worth that. But like you said, if anybody can make it work, it is Spo. I just don't want it. What you feel like, Kev? How you feeling?
I'm from Inglewood, California, and I'm saying hell nah. I'm good on it, bro.
He said that to say because he from where the boy from. That's what he said. He's like that. You know what I mean? Right up the block, Granny house. I know his auntie now.
I'm trying to win a chip, bro. I'm not worried about drama right now, bro. That's the last thing on my mind.
That's a fact. Dean, what you got?
On what? The whole Harden to Miami?
Jay Harden. I mean, Jay Harden to Miami. How you feeling?
I'm gonna keep it short, man. I pass. I'm desperate, but I ain't that desperate. I pass.
Oh man. My man said he need it, but he don't need it. Anyway, Joe, how you feeling about the situation? Jay Harden to Miami. What you got?
Yo, all I'm gonna say is this. I mean, I want to keep it short, sweet, and simple. If you could get him on a good price, and that would be cool. But the issue is the drama. Like, I don't want, if we don't win a championship, and then he goes into next offseason saying, I want out of Miami. Pat Riley and Mickey Harrison are liars. I never want to play for this organization again. I don't want to deal with that. I already worry about the potential drama we have now. So I don't want him to come in here and stir the pot. Know your role, help this team win, and do nothing more. That's all it is.
I promise you, if he run a sign through the booty shake in Miami calling Pat Riley a liar, he ain't gonna make it to the car.
Yo.
Like, he off before he get to the car. Like, I promise you. Like, what? He said what? All right. Like, nah, he ain't gonna do that there. But the sentiments are understood. I think that's where we all are with it. Again, Alex was the one to come out and openly say he'll take it. But even him, we all show the same understanding on the same level of there's a lot of stuff that could come with that. Because like I also agree with you with that sentiment. If anybody can make it work, it's Spo. But I just don't think we there. And at this point in his career, I just don't know if that risk is worth it. So I'm gonna go no. Moving on, man. Like I said a couple of seconds ago, Joel almost stepped on my toes with the Tyler situation. Let's get right into that. Tyler Herro at this point is a perennial, trade piece. And not that, we should be looking to move him perennially, but it's like he's the asset. So if there's a name tied to the Miami Heat, a name that's going to really move the needle where you're going to need to send out something to get that person back, then there's a good chance, actually there's a better than good chance, almost assuredly, that you're going to hear Tyler Herro's name. That's just the way it is. And I think somebody alluded to it a couple of seconds ago throughout the spews leading up to this conversation that he's probably used to that. I think it was Joel where you almost stepped on my toes. Obviously, yeah. Where he's taking it all in stride. So Tyler seems upbeat about the situation. I mean, even, today taking jabs at Portland, kind of saying, I think somebody referenced that he used the Tua line. I don't feel not wanted, which was cute and clever. Hey, yo. But with the same time, I mean, you respect that the man's coming into the situation with a level head. I like Tyler Herro. I think that Tyler Herro is a good player. I think that Tyler Herro is doing what all NBA players do when they know you're good. You have a little bit of an ego. That's what makes you you. If you don't have that irrational confidence, there's no shot that you would have got here. If you don't believe that you can do some things that you should not be able to do, and that everybody else is going to look at you like, what's going on in your head, bro? Like, you just not going to make it to this level. So that you get. But you also need him, from my perspective, I'm not speaking from anybody else, I need him to bite in, whatever that looks like. Like, for me, in previous seasons, last year specifically, this team would have been so much better with him willingly coming off the bench and playing a starter's allotment of minutes, because he's shown you in the past seasons before that he could get you starters numbers or production off the pine. And that's what would have made this team work better from a fit, from a operation, from a we have production and firepower at every sequence, at every level, with every unit. Again, previous seasons, we don't know how this season's going to pan out. I was using that to allude to the point that for me, it's always just about him outwardly exuding that he wanted to do what was best for the team and winning. And sometimes that means not always getting your way. But I accepted him for what he was, his production, when he showed up, when he made the big plays, when he made the big shots, when he was Tyler. And if he's Tyler, he's a good player for the Miami Heat. And you just like that he's come in with what seems like a positive attitude, with what seems like a willingness to work, accepting of the business of the league. And I can't say put it behind him because it's day one. We don't know anything. But just based on what we've seen right now, he's not giving you that energy that we all are kind of assuming, or at least putting forth that Kyle Lowry could be giving you, if y'all get what I'm saying. So just speak on Tyler and his situations and how he has reacted and how he should react, because that is something else about him. He's going to have to chill out on the social media because he do a little bit too much social media for me. But, that's Tyler here, young dude, and that's this generation. So let's just all kind of speak on where we think Tyler is, how we think he's going to react, where his head is. What do we think it's going to do to his game? Is it going to mold with the team? Is he finally going to reach that level that we all think he should be at? Is he going to help catapult this team to the next level? Just anything you got, Tyler, let me hear it. Kev seemed kind of excited to speak on it, so you go ahead and take the floor first, Kev.
Yeah, I'm going to say it first. I got to get this on my chest. Like, this is the year for him. It's year 5, bro. Like, it's time to really show us. And to me, I've always said, like, not always, but the past year, 2 years maybe, bro, I do not care about what you do in the regular season anymore. Like, I need you in the playoffs, bro. I need that 20 to translate to the playoffs. Like,
need you to stay healthy more than anything.
And that too, right? Like, now's the time. You're on a contending team. You're a young player, and you have a great opportunity. You could Jimmy be wanting you to be our leading scorer. Like, it's nice where Jimmy's just like, here, bro, you take it and go off. And he's done that in the regular season before, and he's low-key trying to do it in the playoffs, and Tyler hasn't took those reins yet. Now's the time, bro. You're in year 5. It sounds crazy as hell just thinking that, because I remember when he got drafted, but you in your 5th season in the NBA, bro, and amidst all them trade rumors, amidst all the noise, amidst all the outside chatter, bro, the Heat still have kept you. Spo still have faith in you. You're still getting all the shots that you want to. Like, you're in a perfect situation, bro. You're in Miami. Like, what else can you want? Like, it's time, bro. Like, the pressure should be on him now. Like, I don't care about how you feel about the trade rumors, bro. That's the business. Like, Damian Lillard want to go Miami. He's in Milwaukee now. Like, it is what it is. And let's be honest, Damian Lillard is way better than you. And it's not a nah, it's just fact.
Wait a minute, Kev. Come on now. Hold on, Kev. Come on. You had that. Come on, Kev. Chill out. Wait a minute.
My bad, bro.
Hold on. The brother's still there.
I'm just like, this is my like, bro. And that's my thing. It's like, I really like Tyler Herro.
He's still on the team, Kev.
I know. But it's a certain group in the fan base that looks at him like he's Michael Jordan. And then it's a certain group of the fan base that thinks he's the worst player ever. I'm dead in the middle.
And in all actuality, he's in the middle, right? Like you were saying.
Exactly. That's where I'm at with him. He's in the middle. He's a really good player. Like, damn near, if he was a little bit stronger, he could be an all-star player in this league, I think, right? But he's not as strong. He don't got the handle like that to really get to a spot as he would like to, which I hope should change this year. But to me, it comes down to defensively, no more being a mismatch. There's no more being a weak link, bro. Again, you're in year 5, bro. You should be in NBA shape. You should have NBA physicality. It's nothing that you haven't seen at this point in time, bro. You got thrown into the fire as a rookie. And the only playoff moments that you have so far is that rookie season in the bubble. And we're grateful for those moments. Those are fun-ass times, especially when we're all going through COVID. But, again, it's been 4 years since that, and you haven't given us nothing on your resume in the playoffs. And I'm not going to lie, before he got hurt in that Bucks game 1, he looked like he was about to go off. I ain't going to cap. Like, I'm not going to just breeze by that. Like, don't let me get it misconstrued. But at the same time, like what what Kay just said, bro, you got to stay healthy. Like, that's a part of the game too. And you really broke it. What did he break, his thumb? Whatever it was, on some random hustle play.
Yeah. I mean, you respect the hustle, but at the same time,
bro wasn't even gonna get the rock. If we're being honest, like, I respect.
Right, and that's why I'm like, at the same time, you gotta be smart too.
So that's my thing, bro. Like, I'm personally putting the pressure on Tyler Herro because I believe in the talent that is Tyler Herro. But at the end of the day, you still have to show us. And he said it last year. He was like, bro, I know no matter what, like, the regular season doesn't matter. It's the playoffs. And, bro, facts. Like, so he knows. So I believe in him to do it. But, like, now's the time, bro. Last year, whatever, like, it looked like you had your moment. Unfortunate opportunity. You break whatever, your thumb, finger, whatever. Now this year, the team literally needs you, bro. Like, we can't. Last year we needed you too, but this year we need you more than probably we've ever needed you, with us losing 2 starters, right? So it's time for Tyler Herro, bro. I don't want to hear no excuses from nobody. I don't hear none of that, what you said, the social media stuff. Like, bro, your job is simple, bro. You get paid millions to play a game that you've loved your entire life. Just go do that when we need it the most in the playoffs. Bingo. Simple as that.
I think there were two key things you alluded to there, and then we're gonna get to Joel on this topic, kind of bump him up to the top of the lineup on this one. You mentioned it twice. Well, you mentioned the defense's ability. You're not expecting them to be locked down. Like nobody's expecting to be prime Tony Allen, but we want you to compete. And that's physicality. That's hitting the weight room. That's working hard. And the same thing as far as staying healthy. That's making sure you're conditioned. That's making sure you're treating your body the way it's supposed to be treated. You're acting like a pro. You're doing the things that are necessary in order to stay on the floor. And some things are freak accident. We're not blaming the man for accidents. Accidents happen. It's pro sports. Guys get hurt. It's physical contact. Even basketball is a very physical, especially at the college and pro levels. Like it's a lot of physicality. So we're not knocking him for that. But there are definitely things that he probably could do to help himself. And you see that reflected. And sometimes him being a little, not necessarily timid, but weaker on the defensive side of the ball. So you know there's some work he could do on his body. And I think that's what you're alluding to, Kev. It's kind of one and the same. But also to your point, yeah, the organization has done a lot for him. And to that point that I mentioned, where I felt like he would have been better off the bench, they gave him what he wanted. They was like, nah, you the starter. Even though I'm sure they knew for us, the Heat, the team, we would be better having this come off the pond. But you know what I mean? There's some give and take. And like I said, I agree with you. They did do that. So, Joe, what's your Tyler take right now? How you feeling about Tyler? How you think you're feeling about the situation? What do you think we're going to get from Tyler? Really touch in on that for me, Joe. What do you think we're going to get from Tyler this coming season, somewhere in your spew?
I just want that man to come out there and just be, and I know he's always confident, but you just survived the Damian Lillard trade rumors, man, because I honestly
really well articulated. He survived.
Because I personally thought, after everything he went through, the what's it called, the Donovan Mitchell rumors, the James Harden rumors back in 2020, who else? Kevin Durant rumors last year. It's like there was a lot of names that he missed out on, and I'm like, okay,
is Tyler the equalizer? Tyler can be killed. Wait a minute, are we looking at this thing all wrong?
He might just be at this point, because I looked at this Damian Lillard situation. I'm like, wow. I mean, this man might really be gone. I actually couldn't believe it for a second, because that's how confident I was that maybe Dame does come to Miami and that this is really going to be the end of Tyler's time in Miami. I did not think after all this time it was really going to come to an end. So the fact that he was able to survive that, and here we are, all these trade rumors later, this man is about to enter his 5th season with the Heat. If I was him, I mean, I would feel untouchable at this point. I would feel invincible, because you know what? I was able to get through all of this. This man, Dame, literally said he wanted to go to Miami only. But even then, I still survived that. I would feel invincible if I was him. And I would just go out there and be like, you know what? I'm here. I'm still with this team. Let me go out there and show people what I'm capable of doing. I dodged a bullet, because if I was him, I'd probably feel bad thinking that game 1 against Milwaukee leading to that broken hand was probably going to be the last moment people would see of him in a Heat jersey. But guess what? That's not going to be their last memory of you. Their last memory of you could potentially be something else. Something that could help this team in the long run. Maybe help this team win a championship if God is willing. That could be, the future memories that they're going to have of you in that Miami Heat uniform. So now that you've survived another year of trade rumors, you've been through all of that, I want you to go out there and start your own story. Not the guy that's going to constantly be thrown into trade packages, but the guy that's going to go out there and show people that he deserves to be in that conversation. Because he said that last year. I want to be in the convo with guys like Trey and John or them other people. Well, you know what? Go show it. You survived another trade rumor. I look at everything as a man of faith. This is what God wanted him to do. So go out there and show people nah, I'm more than just the guy that you're just gonna throw in a trade package with a couple of 1st-round picks. I'm a guy that's capable of a lot more. So if I'm Tyler, I'm going out there, I'm shutting everything down, especially when playoffs come around. Do what you said you were going to do, because, it was mentioned, he wasn't even caring about the regular season because he knew the focus was on what he could do in the postseason. So go out there, do your thing. Don't make any stupid plays again that might lead to you getting injured. I mean, shout outs for the hustle, but we're not really counting on you for that anyways. Just go out there, hit your shots, and be that boost on the offense we know that you're capable of being. And let's just go from there with it. Because if we can some way, somehow win the championship this season, like Tyler has to play a big part in it. So, just don't care about none of this other stuff. You made it through everything. Like I said, you're invincible now at this point. Like, just go out there and do your thing and try to help this team win the championship. And yeah.
So Joe said a man make $30 million on average, currently plays basketball and lives in Miami, survived 5 sets of train rumors, including Damian Lillard directly saying that he wanted to come to Miami and Miami alone. I mean, you can't be killed. He called a man Frogger. Listen, let me bring something to the attention of the people. Joel is going to forever show you his faith. Our glory too. So I ain't mad at that. And of course, he, reflected to the part that he's a man of faith. So he believes this is divine for him. But if you'll notice his header and his banner, it says Dro Cronin will pay for his sins. Wait a minute. Wait till the church members get a hold of this. I mean, what are we doing, Joe? We're gonna talk. We'll talk after this. Don't worry about it. We'll talk after this. I'm gonna pray for you, brother. Dean, I'm sure you got like a beautiful, just over the top, just absurdly, just demonstrative, just angry soliloquy on this topic. So give it to the people, man.
Yeah, you 100% right, man. Listen, everybody know I'm not a huge Tyler Herro fan, but it's something that stuck out with me. What Joe said and what Coach Spo said earlier in the day. Spo said that we missed out Tyler last year when he got hurt in the postseason, and Joe just said that we could have used him last year in the postseason. I 100% disagree with both of them. And I'm not a man who disagree a lot.
I know where he's going, people. I know where he's going. Y'all buckle in.
But once he went down, we did not miss a beat. We did not miss a beat without Tyler. So that's telling me right there, we don't really need that man that much as his fans may make it out the scene. We don't need Tyler. He doesn't add a lot of rim pressure. He can't handle the ball. It just blows my mind. I'm off the Tyler hype train. I've been off the Tyler hype train for the past 2 years now. 2 years now. It's just been nothing but mediocre with this guy. Everyone sit here and say, "Oh well, he scored 20 points a game." I do not care about 20 points a game. 20 points a game in today's NBA seem like 13 points a game. Like in all honesty, he has not his game. I'm not going to say his game has not improved because we've seen slight improvements of his game, of his game. So I'm not going to say that, but it hasn't translated in April and May. It has not translated in April and May. If Tyler Herro goes out and averages 27 points a game this year, I would not care. I would not I would not care until I see it in the playoffs. This man, 2 years ago, this man had DeLon Wright put him in a chokehold in the bro. Listen, man. When it comes to Tyler Herro,
Joe, maybe we need that prayer. I'm sorry. Maybe you were right. Maybe we need all that good energy because right now. Kev, go ahead, Dean. I'm sorry.
Kev, what did I say? What did I say coming in?
He can average 30 and it wouldn't matter, Dean.
Bro, I said I was being positive. I'm on some Beyonce, You Can't Break My Soul. I've been listening to that all day. All day until y'all bring up Tyler Herro. And now I'm here. Now
so Tyler Herro broke your soul, is what you're saying,
bro. Now with reports out there that we might have him playing point guard. That was it for me, man. Listen, Kev, K, we seen him play point guard start the season now point guard a couple seasons ago. Where did that lead him? That lead him? It led to him being the 6th man of the year. That's where it led him. And shout out to him, man. 6th man of the year is a good award, whatever. But he's not that guy. I believe Tyler Herro, he could be the 3rd best player on the championship team. He could be, and I think maybe he
Okay,
is.
hold on. Can he be the third best player on this championship team? My dog's making a guess appearance.
No,
Won't
he's
show
not
no
the
more.
third best player on this championship team. No, he's not. He's not because.
And I think that's the most important question for our purposes. Elaborate.
We seen the Miami Heat go all the way to the finals without him. Didn't miss a beat. Literally did not miss a beat. So I mean, listen.
I mean,
he's going to come in this season. He's going to come in like he does not. I could say that he don't let these trade rumors mess with his mental. And I know Kev and K, you guys said y'all don't like the whole social media thing. I don't mind that. I literally don't mind that because once it's time to step on the court, he's focused. Like he doesn't let the trade rumor. Like he understands this is a business, and it doesn't bother him at this point. Like he's been hearing about it since his rookie season, and he still comes in there. He shows up to media day, and he answers all the questions, and he throw little jabs about the trade rumors. It doesn't bother him. Like I can say that it does not bother him, but it bothers me the way he plays sometimes. It bothers me.
Understandable. Yeah. I didn't know you were gonna go all the way there with the Dame saying that the man can average 30 and it went by. I'm still stuck on that. But Alex, respond to that. You seem like that moved you a bit, man. What did I see going on there?
Because I'm of the mindset. I think, like Kev said, like it's put up or shut up time for Tyler. He 6-0 versus NBA superstar trade rumors. And I know
boy is Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah,
he on the Shaq and Kobe-esque run.
I say he the dude. He buddy from Unbreakable, who he can't get hurt. Like that's who he is. Because like I expect that since he's here, we were looking for a Damian Lillard type of player, whatever, Dame, Brad, D Mitch. Like we're looking for guys who honestly could just take pressure off of Jimmy during the season. We need people who is going to be able to handle the business of helping us win games during the season so Jimmy could get to the playoffs and be as healthy as possible and then do what he did until Josh Hart tried to slide tackle him like they was playing soccer.
I'm still looking for him in a parking lot, by the way. Somebody find him and let me know. I'm pulling up.
He in New York. I seen him. He in New York.
It's a lot of boroughs, brother. That's why I need a specific pen. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good. But like I'm honestly of the mindset that Tyler during this season, I need Tyler to be an all-star. I need him to play well enough to make that all-star game. All right, that's one goal for him. And then like we all are saying, then after that, what are you going to do when April, May, and possibly June hit? Like what they say the playoffs tell. So, all right, handle your business, be an all-star this year, average 20-something, 5-5, help us win games, take pressure off of Jimmy and Bam. But when those lights are the brightest, what are you going to do? That's what I'm worried about. What are you going to do? Like I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of them people who, after his rookie year, I've been one of those people who has been looking to trade him every single offseason because I'm like, yo, like he's the one that you trade. Like you're not gonna trade Bam, you're not gonna trade Jimmy. Tyler's the asset to move.
It makes sense. He's the asset. No, that makes a lot of sense.
He's the asset. So, like I said at the start,
he's the only asset.
Yeah, he done dodged all those rumors. So, all right, you here? Put up or shut up, dog. It's time to show what you really about.
I mean,
wait.
You got something?
Yeah, I got something to say. What Alex just said, like at the very end, he just said, "It's put up or shut up." Is this you or not? Why? This is year 5 for Tyler. Why can't us Heat fans all accept this is who he is? He's shown us for 4 straight years. This is who he's going to be.
That's valid.
I mean, that's a fact, but you can't. But okay, you know me, and y'all know how I feel. But I'm gonna be fair. Before we get to the Hami Podcast lookalike, the Skip Bayless of our show, the worst guy on the other side of the planet, the left hemisphere's plague, otherwise known as George. But anyway, we're gonna get to that. What I was saying was, you can't automatically judge him for his bottom end because his top end has been kind of toppy, and you can win with his top end. So when you say this is who he is, I do want to be fair and say, well, at top end, he showed us some pretty good stuff too.
No, I mean you're 100% right. Like he has shown some good stuff. But my whole thing is, I want to see it. Listen, we're a championship contending team. Period. Like we're not the Sacramento Kings. We're not the like this is the championship contender team, and it's been a championship contender team for the past 5 years.
George doesn't think so. George thinks because we only get to conference finals and NBA finals that we're not championship winning team. So that's why he's over there, turning grease on this left side.
Seriously though, like this is a championship contender team. We missing everyone is saying we're missing that third player to get us over the hump. That third player is supposed to be Tyler Herro. He's not it. He has not shown it. Could we win a championship in these past 5 years? Could we have won a championship if Tyler showed up in the playoffs?
That Tyler? Do you mean the Tyler that Alex is holding up?
No, that Tyler right there.
This the one we need. That's the
Tyler we're missing.
That's the dude we need.
And that was what, his rookie year?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I just don't think Tyler is the guy that's going to help us lift that Larry O'Brien trophy.
And I think
that's all I'm saying.
We're going to
championship what?
I think this is a huge if. George, it's your turn to talk. I was getting to you. Don't you interrupt our situation. We over here talking real basketball hoops knowledge about the Miami Heat and their actual prospects, and you just gonna interrupt us.
You want Dwayne Dedman back on the minimum. I don't want to fucking hear it from you at all ever again after the last
George, we got boo. Don't boy. Swear banner him, Joel. We'll kick you off.
Yo, I thought I was gonna be the
It's
first
a cultural difference, Joel. It's a cultural difference. You will respect it.
My brother, we with the network right now. We gotta keep it PG for them.
What you got, George? Seriously, tell us what you got, man. I'm sure you like.
I'm here. I'm telling you something. This is not a championship team. Let me just put it out there.
Frame it from the perspective of Tyler Herro right now. We're gonna let you get that up, but let's keep a little order because I know where you'll go, which is everywhere. But frame it from the perspective of Tyler Herro for us and the people.
Talk to me, George.
He is who he is. There's nothing wrong with him. If he was able to stay and we were to acquire Dame and Joe Cronin wasn't on the other side of the deal, he would be perfect for what he is. He is a scorer. The problem with Tyler Herro is that he decides to go out there and try destiny. Here we go. And he tries to go out there and be something he's not. This whole dribble nonsense, this whole let me show what I need to do in my pull-up game against Utah and Oklahoma City and the Rockets is not impressive. His catch-and-shoot game is weak. He needs, if he was a catch-and-shoot player, he'd be perfect for what he is. He doesn't facilitate the way you want him to. He's about to start point guard. And granted,
I think we know who was leaking all those reports to Woj now, guys.
Don't handle my business. That's my business. I'm sitting here and saying that he's trying to be something he's not, and his development suffered for it. His defensive ability needs help. It needs help. He needs to work with some coaches. He needs to get a better defensive mind. But I'm just not sure of what he offers to a team where he is a focal point of the team. If Dame was here, he's perfect. He's the fourth best player. You know what I mean? He is a scorer. He can be like your Jamal Crawford. He can be like your Jordan Clarkson. He can be your sixth man, your Lou Will. I'm telling you right now, he can be like your Lou Will, and that's fine. Coming off the bench, his role off the bench was perfect. When he won Sixth Man of the Year, that was his best season. Full stop. I don't care statistically. Last year was his best year. His role off the bench was significant. When he was coming on winning games for us, it was perfect. But now this team has gone ahead and lost Gabe Vincent and Maximilian Strus for nothing. And I said last year, multiple times, You must deal them at the halftime point, at the halfway break of the season, at the trade deadline, if you don't plan to resign them. And they didn't do it. Gabe Vincent has been a more valuable player than Tyler Herro these last 4 years. He's been a more valuable player. The stuff he has done when he has been called upon, when he was starting for long stretches of the season, he was starting over Kyle Lowry. His defensive ability is underrated. We've lost that. And yet people say, oh, we got Josh Richardson. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-freaking-do. What is that going to – what does that achieve? Nothing. If we had Gabe Vincent coming off the bench with Josh Richardson, that'd be better. You've lost Strus now, who was a spark plug. Granted, he was trash for a long time last season. 27 or 30 games, something like that, where he averaged, what was it, like 28% shooting or something like that. It was terrible. But we have streaky shooters. We had Duncan do that for 2 years. Just be useless.
Duncan's
but now
back,
you've lost them. Deem, I can't hear you.
I was going to give George a couple more seconds, and then I'm going to reel him back in. Go ahead, George. Tie a ball around it.
I'm saying you haven't replenished the talent. You've lost talent. You've gone ahead and you've claimed that this is still a championship team when Mickey's just the biggest, most lazy person in the world who has won his championships. He's happy just to fill this team and be okay. He doesn't want to win. When there's other teams out there that are willing to dive into the tax and willing to put talent around and actively
George has been reading
around,
Barry's tweets, guys.
Barry's underrated, but that's got nothing to do with my conversation, all right? To leave Barry out of this. He's on the payroll. I'm sitting here and I'm saying that this team is not competitive. It is depressing, but Mickey won't sell the team. And we're going to have to just rely on 40-point per game Jimmy Butler to come back.
Yeah.
When he's 36.
Yeah.
With no knees.
Okay. So, since George has took it upon himself to give us a synopsis of the season, we were going to get to that point as a collective. But to allude to the last episode where Joe mentioned, I don't know if he mentioned it before we came on air, but the guys on air know that me and George kind of got into it. That was the basis of what that debate was about. So now that you all have seen how George feels about it, I feel like there's nothing better to do now but to just free for all, man. How are you feeling about the season? Where do you see the season going? Is there anything else important? There is a deal out there. There is one more guy out there. I won't say a deal. There's one more guy out there, one more team out there that still could possibly, help Miami get some things done, which I'll throw into the mix at some point. But like I said, since George just decided to open it up to the feelings on the top of, on the entirety of the team. By the way, when you say things with an accent, that make it sound like you almost know what you're talking about. But that's neither here nor there. Guys, how we feeling about the team, the chances, the total composition? Is George right? Is this team screwed? Did they lose too many key pieces? How do they get some things done? Can they get some things done? Are they firmly in the mix? I mean, how are we feeling about the season as the season get ready to tip off? I mean, media day, that means it's here. That means they about to start running. Suicide's about to start happening. We about to start hearing about injuries. Everybody got to tell all their girlfriends and baby mama, they side pieces, look, I'm about to be, what I'm saying? Like, all that's here. Like, we at that point. So it's no more games. There's no more, we didn't get Damian Lillard. There's no more, can we get Drew Holiday? There's no more Joe Cronin will only make a deal if somebody, there's no more of that. How do you feel about this?
Man, cut the power off in Australia, dog.
Bruh. Yeah. Like, shut it all the way off. How we feel about the season as a whole, and where we think this Heat team might end up. I'm interested in hearing what you got to say, Dan, because it sounded like you wanted to respond to something that you heard George say. And then, Alex, you just jump right in after Dean.
Yeah, man. Listen, besides the wig that George wearing, George is my guy. George is my guy. I like the lamp back there. You got to send me where you got that from. Hopefully, they don't
Vietnam
in UK. But anyway, what stuck out to me, what George said was he don't believe this team is going to be competitive. That was ridiculous. I understand if you said no, they won't be a championship contending team. I may agree with you there, but long as we have Eric, Jan, Spoelstra in that backcourt, come on, man. Enough with the Dame talk, man. Enough with the Dame talk. I can't see the word Dame anywhere. Like don't mention the word Dame to me for a couple months, man. Seriously. But anyway, man, I'm sorry that you can't break my soul. That took me off topic. I'm not talking about that, man. I'm not letting that get to me. But in all seriousness, no, this team is going to be competitive. Long as Spo is long as I see Spo on that sideline, I believe this team can be competitive. Last year, we seen us win what? How much we won? 44 games last year, 45 games, somewhere around there last year. I believe we're going to do the same thing. We're going to win 44, 45 games this year. But once April and May come, this team is going to compete. Either, we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals again, or we might be a second round exit team. But either way, this team is going to compete. And once the trade deadline come, I do believe we're going to go out there and make some trades. But to sit out there and say this team won't be competitive, and he thinks, you see a lot of tweets or whatever saying this team is not going to be competitive, you're 100% wrong. You're 100% wrong. This team has always been competitive, no matter who's on a roster. We've seen the Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside and James Johnson those years,
and Luke Babbitt and them.
No, we've seen those years, and we've seen them go 41-41. This team is going to, no matter what anyone say about Pat Riley and how they feel about him right now, but he's just always made sure his team was competitive, no matter who was on a roster, and that's the culture way. So let's not go out beside ourselves and sit there and forget about the culture, because we always want to preach about culture, but now is we don't think they're going to be competitive. No, this team is going to be competitive. Like, it is
absolutely.
what it is.
I mean, you see a couple deals go the wrong way, and all of a sudden you forget what this organization has done for years.
Let's not forget what this organization is about. Let's not forget what it's about. We're going to be competitive. We might be, in the middle, and a lot of fans might not like that, but we're going to be all right. I'm
gonna be frank, man. We might coast through the regular season. Might not win as many games as people want you to win, but when it gets to the regular season and everything matters, the Heat are gonna be in the mix as long as they're healthy, as long as Spo is on that sideline, as long as Jimmy and Bam is in that lineup. I mean, to your point, Deem, you mentioned it, man. You can't holler one thing and then live on the other side. Alex, what you got on the topic, man? How you feeling about the season? And we're gonna let you circle back around, George, because I see you over there getting bent out of shape, but that's just what you walked into.
I mean, it's Heat culture, man. Like we every time we step on the court, we looking to win. So that's what I'm looking for from the team. I'm looking for guys to step up. I'm excited that Jay Rich is back. I'm excited that, I'm praying to God that Spo gives Jovic some time to shine, because I think his development and his skill set could really help open up eyes and help the team out really well. But yeah, man, like I feel like we're not gonna be as bad as everybody's trying to make it out to be. We are not gonna be old. Well, we're not gonna be one of the top 3 seeds, I don't think, but I see us out of the play-in. Like we're not gonna. I think we get finish in the top 6. So you out of the play-in. It's honestly, it's been a rough week for all the Heat Nation with us missing out on Dame and then Drew. But like I really do think that this team, like I said, man, it's gonna end up being a top 6 seed. And then once we're in that top 6, nobody wants to see us in a 7-game series. Like that's one of the things that I feel like people are losing. Like nobody wants to see us. Nobody wants to see Spo and whatever craziness he got going on with the schemes and all that. Like he is a mastermind, bro. And then in any 7-game series, we seen it last year in the first round. Jimmy can go nuclear and be the best player in the world. Like, he just need other guys to, if you make shots, yo, I could take you there. So, yeah, the regular season might not be, the Heat win 55, 60 games. But once April, May, June hit, that's when we make our money. So that's what I'm waiting to see, man.
Just get there and put yourself in a decent position for when you get there. Right. No, completely. What you got on it, Kev? How you see the Heat season going thus far? And we're gonna get Joel in right after that.
Yeah, no, I'm with everything Demon and Alex both said, right? It's never gonna be pretty. Like, man, let's call a spade, bro. Last year, a lot of us did not expect them to go on the run that they did. And they went on that run and went crazy, and they maximized by knocking off the two best teams in the East and the Knicks on in between that, right? Like, what we did was unprecedented. Teams in the league are trying to copy our sauce. The Masai Ujiri came out and said, we're trying to be like the Heat. We're trying to be an A seed and just make a run. Bro, it's not happening like that. Like, we're really spoiled. And I say this all the time, and he feels like I'm crazy. We're really spoiled because it's none of forget my language, but there's none of that tanking shit going on here, bro. Like, every year is competitive, bro. Every year,
swear banner.
Every year, internal development is taking place every single time, right? And that's the key thing. Like Alex said, we need Jovic to take a little bit of a leap. We need Hawkins to kind of, get adjusted kind of early, right? Like, you need all them things to take place. And again, I like Jay Rich, coming in and doing this thing. He's comfortable. He's familiar, right? You need things like that. You're going to need Duncan to get his confidence all the way back, like, for the whole season, right? So, to me, like all y'all said, bro, we got Spo, we got Jimmy, we got Bam, we got a chance. That's how I look at it every single year. They've given us no reason to doubt them whatsoever. Even in 2022, let's really talk about it. George brought up losing Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. What were they at in 2022? If I'm just being honest, let's really talk about it. Because if we were shooting the ball, because the three-point shooting in the regular season was elite and it fell off a cliff in the playoffs, and Jimmy still got us to that game 7. If they shot a little bit better, we always talk about Jimmy missing that shot. Bro, if we shot better from 3 that year, we're in the finals in 2022 as well.
So George doesn't remember that. George doesn't remember that. George doesn't remember that.
We really gonna cook like.
His memory only goes back like 9 months.
Exactly, and this is my thing. This is the only frustration I have where I can see where George's perspective on this is that if I'm just keeping it a bean, no duo in the league has as much weight on their shoulders as Jimmy and Bam when it comes to scoring, getting other people involved, defensively, all that. They do it all. Like, all these other duos y'all hear about, they either do scoring at a high level or they're playing defense at a high level. They're not doing everything. Jason Tatum's not going out there and making dudes on the Celtics better. Giannis is not going out there and locking up the other team's best player in Milwaukee. The list goes on. Jokic, we all know he's not known for defense. Jimmy and Bam do all that. They cover everything, every single mistake. So when you have those two dudes, bro, you can rock. So to me, like y'all said, I think we'll be somewhere between a 5 and a 6 seed regular season. And then come playoff time, it's smoke just like every year. We're going to be the target because everybody hates us right now, but we've been the target ever since. We've been running
super villains, man. And the Heat excel when they the super villains. I mean, nobody really likes the Heat now, which is why we in this situation, which is why every national writer seems to have something good to say about them not being able to get the deal done, which is why Cronin even carried that way in the first place, which is why, excuse my French, I'm going to sell bias, but I don't care, which is why Adam Silver can scream integrity of the league, good for the game, and contracts and all this, but then let Joe Cronin straight up, like, just spitefully, hold a man hostage. I get it. If you actually did a better deal for you in that individual deal, then you can sell me that, but you didn't. Now, don't give me the whole conglomerate final package, what he ended up with after, dealing and wheeling and flipping and hitting the block and doing all that and calling 5 people and saying, I got 2 of these over here for 20. And hitting his mans and them. Don't tell me about all of that because that wasn't the deal. But we're going to get to that. Joe, give me a couple of minutes because we already been going an hour. We're not going to go too much longer. We're going to get a couple of more key things in though. Joe, give me your topic or your thoughts on how you think this season in the entirety will go. What are you thinking? And then we are going to let you respond to everything you've heard here, George, because I know it's killing you. But let's hear what you got first, Joe.
Man, I'm gonna just say it how it is. And it was Deem who mentioned it. Like, There were times in this past where the Heat was so down bad that we had Luke Babbitt in the starting lineup. And you know what? We were still a competitive team. And it was to a point where even I believed the fact that this team could still, go far in the playoffs if they was to make it. So if I believe that for a team that had Luke Babbitt of all people in the starting lineup, you better believe that I'm going to have faith in a team that not only has Eric Spoelstra, but Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and, we already talked about it, but Tyler Herro, he can, step up in the ways that we need him to. But with that all being said, I'm always have faith in my squad. I really do hope that we can make some trades at the deadline, which was something that didn't happen last season. How could that have helped the team, in that playoff run? If we were to have made some moves, who knows? But if we could just maybe make some improvements here and there, if it is possible, I think that could help us out greatly by the time we get into the playoffs. But yeah, like for me personally, I'm gonna ride with this team no matter what, and we gonna win the championship. We gonna find a way to get it done. I believe in Jimmy. Last year he said that we missed the shot, but after they lost Game 7 to Boston, we missed it. I don't know the exact quote. We missed it, but you know what? Next time we're gonna be back in that same situation, but this time we're gonna get it done. He said it something similar today. This time we're gonna be back in the finals and we're gonna get it done, and I believe him when he says it. So emo Jimmy or not, I don't care what look he pulling up. All I know is that man is gonna come in here. He's coming for blood, and yeah, y'all see what I have written below my name. Joe Cronin will pay for his sins. All of them will pay for their sins, because guess what? Jimmy is going to come out and he's going to do the Lord's work. And all y'all nasty fan bases that's been talking crap about the Heat, he's going to come for all y'all, all right? So all you
Glory,
Bucks fans,
hallelujah.
all you Bucks fans coming after us saying, oh, we got Dame, y'all don't. That's fine. Jimmy going to be ready for y'all. Same thing goes for the Celtics. Okay, Jimmy literally told y'all new point guard.
We getting there. We getting there. Don't hold on, Joel. Hold on. Simmer down. Simmer down. Simmer down. Simmer down.
He said he owned him though.
Easy.
We saw what Jimmy did last year. He put 37 points on a team that had some of the best defenders in the league. I saw that. And if it wasn't for Josh Hart being I ain't going to say the word on here because I don't know who watching this.
Your church folks, man. Your church folks.
Yeah. So you know what? But yeah, whatever. I ain't going to say the word, but if Josh Hart was, I'm going to say it anyway.
If you allude to it one more time, you might as well say it.
Listen, if Josh Hart wasn't such a pussy and, tried to flop on that play, then you know what? We probably would have had a healthy Jimmy in that finals and in that conference finals against Boston. So with that all being said, I'm chill with the way how things are right now. Let's try to make some moves. Let's try to see what we can do at the trade deadline. Hopefully we can have a good team. Let's go from there. I'm rocking with this team no matter what. So that's basically it from me.
Now, right before George gets his spew off, because I know he got a lot to say in response, I want to mention something I think Jimmy Butler said. I want to say it was via NBA TV. I saw it on the timeline somewhere that it said he's ready to personally, beat Dame, Giannis, and their coach. I mean, what more can you want? What more can you want? I mean, I'm sure, it's not enough for you, George, but tell us all about that.
The only piece of truth I heard that entire time was when Kev said, we're spoiled. Because we are spoiled. Because of the disease and the lies that surround Heat culture. And the joke that it is. I can't wait. I can't wait till the conversation is had when Heat culture is actually the worst thing to happen to Miami. And it's resulted in 0 free agents joining us, 0 stars joining us since Jimmy Butler came here. 0. The most impactful acquisition of the Heat culture is PJ Tucker. Because, Heat culture was around when we were winning finals and we were winning championships, wasn't it? Yeah, because that undrafted free agent, LeBron James, and undrafted free agent, Chris Bosh, was really that good. Was really that great. But now we've got Heat culture, and I can't wait to go back and reminisce about Big Cheese, Dion Waiters. What a go! How good was he? He came up to the system. Duncan Robinson, $18 million a year for Duncan Robinson. And I'm trying my hardest not to swear right now. Trying my hardest. But Heat culture has got you nothing. It has got you depression and slow and crap and nothing. Heat culture doesn't exist. It is a facade. that the ownership has pulled over your eyes and backed it up with the excellence that is Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Coach Spo. Without Coach Spo, we are the Charlotte Hornets with a star on our team. That is what this is. Without Coach Spo, it is nothing. We are nothing without him. He took undrafted players in a game where we had 6 available and we won. What we're left with right now is the remnants of a team that could have competed 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and has been left with nothing. This is what we're left with now. I'm not trying to slap down all your vibes for the season and shit like that. Sorry, damn it.
You responded with a curse word, George. I don't think it works like that.
I don't know what it takes for people to realize that this team, the only salvageable aspect of
it's okay, man. This is almost a safe space.
That this is the only way is to get a trade at the trade deadline that makes sense for us. AKA, go and get OG Adebayo, who's not signing a long-term deal, who's not going to re-sign with them, who they're going to want to ship out. There's no sign and trade in place. Go and get him at the trade deadline. He's going to be cheap. He's already said he's not coming back. So all the leverage is with the team that wants him at all. Toronto has no leg to stand on. Donovan Mitchell, who's not going to sign an extension in Cleveland. If he hasn't already committed to the Knicks, which I think he already will, but go and make a play. Go and make a play for a player like that. But you can't keep promoting players through the system and expect them to play well all the time. You can't. I like Jovic. Jovic has potential, really high potential. Same with Triple J. Richardson is old. Okay, he's not. There's no more potential, untapped potential there. Haywood Highsmith is a player that we are talking about taking a leap. A leap. Haywood Highsmith. What leap? Back to
He's going to win Most Improved Player of the Year.
You shut your mouth, please.
That's my pick, y'all.
That's your pick. We need to understand that Tyler Herro is not him. He is a high-level role player.
About another minute, George. About another minute. Synopsis it for us.
Give me 30 seconds.
He said Tyler Herro's not him. He's more they, them.
How do I respond to that? That's just 8 of my 22 seconds. Thank you very much, Kev. What the bottom line is, this team needs trades, and it needs an ownership that's willing to spend money to do it. We cannot win when we're not in the tax. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. You're about to face Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown.
Going too far. We're going to get there. Going too far. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Hold tight. Hold tight.
All them names have been cooked before, too.
They want to say something
exactly what I was about to say.
And I'm going to let Kev. I'm going to let Kev get a couple minutes, and Alex also want to respond. And then we're going to move on to that very topic, because I did want to try to get a couple of minutes there before we wrapped up. So go ahead, Deem, and then Kev and Alex gonna jump in.
No, let Kev go. Let Kev go. I'll go at the Kev.
No, I'm good. What I got is for the next topic. You and Alex.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna say this. George, I understood what you were saying until you got disrespectful to the Heat culture, because you said, listen. You said that it's not real, and we couldn't win with these guys on our team, these undrafted guys. We have made it to the finals twice in 4 or 5 years with these same undrafted guys who, if they was on any other team, and everyone say this, the reason why, teams that don't go out and do these trades for these guys, for the Max Strus, for the Duncan Robinsons, for the Haywood Highsmiths, is because they cannot get the same production.
What up, K9? What up, DJJ?
Thank you. They cannot get the same production that Miami can get from those guys. And it's been praises from other head coaches in the league saying, they don't understand how they keep finding these guys and keep winning with these guys. So somewhere, the Heat culture does work, and it is real. It is real because if you go back and look at all these players, you go back and look at James Johnson, Deion Waiters, Kendrick Nunn, Hassan Whiteside, Tyler Johnson. The list can go on and on.
Hey, look, man, we put McGruber in the league for a couple of years. I mean, we the reason he's still working, baby.
Wayne Ellington, all those guys, they have played their best when they had the heat across their chest. Had Miami, held on to these players a little too long? Had they given out bad contracts to these players when they shouldn't have? Yes, 100% agree with that. You got me there. I can't say nothing about that. Do I agree with the Duncan Robinson getting that big contract? No. Do I believe that, James Johnson and Deion and Hassan should have got those contracts they got? No. So
even though that's an outlier year, be fair though, Dame, that was the year where all of that money was going out. So it's just like, I don't know if they get that money in a regular year.
It all matters though.
No, but still, they probably.
But then that's something we'll get into. That's something we'll get into deep on Biscayne breakdown. So we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But it's like there won't nobody out there that year either. Somebody was gonna have to get the money.
I understand that, but I'm just alluding to what George was saying. I'm trying to,
facts. No, I got you. I ain't gonna spend too long on it.
Because it was some truths that he said, and I agree with some of it. So I can't be a hypocrite with that. But to sit here and say, it's not real, and it is a disease out there. No, I mean, it is a disease out there because it is real and it spreads. The heat culture does spread. It's a real thing. Like we get the most out of these guys, and no, we haven't won a championship, and the goal is to win a championship. Like that's the goal. That should be the goal every year for every team. It's to win a championship. But we've been closer than a lot of these teams. And yes, Milwaukee and Boston are better than us, but I'm pretty sure we're going to compete with them. And I'm gonna
tell you what George's main thing is, Dave. What you saying that? Okay, yes, the goal is to win a title, but it's reaching the finals, the NBA finals, and the conference finals.
For the Heat, no.
Is that failure though?
For Miami, it is. Because Pat Riley once said,
and that's what I wanted to get.
It's losing in his misery or whatever. Is winning than his misery or something like that. No, every team can't. You're not going to win it every year. But for a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, for the Utah Jazz or the Sacramento Kings, for them, it's an accomplishment. It's a stepping stone. What Giannis like to say, it's a stepping stone. But no, for Miami, for the Lakers, for teams like Boston and Golden State, it's a failure when you don't accomplish your goal. But anyway, back on topic for what George said, I do disagree with you because I do believe the heat culture is real, and obviously it shows. Let's watch Gabe Vincent in LA and let's watch Max Strus in Cleveland, and let's compare their years to when they was in Miami, and I guarantee you won't get 50% of what they got. You won't get 50% of what they got, what they gave in Miami. I guarantee that.
Can I just quickly intervene? Two things.
20 seconds, brother.
I never said heat culture was fake. I said it's stupid and dumb and obsolete. And number two, it's got nothing to do with how players play outside of Miami. That's got nothing to do. I'm not saying that heat culture doesn't affect players positively here. I mean, you can't keep relying on getting undrafted talent and giving them big contracts and trying to get them to do a job. You can't keep doing that.
Okay, but listen, you said
the only reason why we're here.
You said that we need to go get those big stars, and we can't keep relying on these undrafted players. I 100% agree with you there. But
both of those things can't exist in a vacuum. If you want to go get the big stars, you're gonna have to find a way to maximize these guys that you don't have to pay a lot. You can't have both things.
But he listen. You can't go get the. It's not 2K, like it's just.
Oh, that's a fact. A lot of people playing fantasy basketball, trade machine.
The other team has to agree upon the trade. The other team has it takes two. I've been saying, K, you can be the witness. I've been saying all last year, Miami does not have the assets to go pull off a trade for Kevin Durant for Damian. We don't have those assets, and you can't be mad at guys for other GMs for not wanting those players in return. Like it's just you can't be upset. Could we got Bradley Beal for cheap? Yes, but they held out for Dame, and obviously it didn't work in our favor. But we can't sit there and say that we're not Pat Riley and these guys aren't trying to make this roster better. They're trying. They just not trying as hard or doing as what we want them to do.
So yeah, I mean, look, it's a situation where you just got to make sure that everybody's on the same page when you're going to make these moves, because I'm not a guy that believes you have to be one way or other, and I think it has to be in concert. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, George has changed his background. Beautiful. You sure that you don't want to? You sure you don't want to? You want to get that off real quick, Alex? Respond to what was going on there.
So yeah, I'm gonna be real quick so we can get on to the next topic and get out of here. But so one thing I will say is heat culture is real. It's obvious because of the fact that like we get done what we get done every single year. Like everybody's not stepping on the court, competing as hard and playing as hard as we do, and getting the same results. Like everybody's been saying, getting the same results out of these undrafted guys. That's not happening. But I will say one thing that I can say that I like wholly agree with George about is that this roster, like the core of the guys, was that was to compete basically like 2 years ago. Like the year that we lost in Game 7 to the Celtics when Jimmy missed a shot. I was of the mindset that once we lost that year and didn't make it to the finals, didn't win the championship, I was like, all right, the only two people who should be safe this offseason are Jimmy and Bam. Like that should have been the time where they really looked to pivot, and basically like that's when Tyler or Kyle, and I mean obviously PJ left, but that was the time to pivot. So this roster now, it's a little stale because these guys have been together for so long. Now it's a little stale. So now we do need an interjection of somebody new, which is why everybody was so excited about the Damian Lillard situation. But, I mean, so just to wrap it up, heat culture is real. The roster is stale.
Indeed, that makes sense. I mean, that's a perfect synopsis. And something to close it here. And the way we'll do it is everybody will get their take off. And then we'll wrap a bow around it. But everybody kind of wanted to touch on it in their spews about different topics. Look, man, let's touch on the Celtics and Bucks really quick. The Celtics now feature a roster and a lineup that should look something like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, and I'm going to assume Horford, maybe. That's going to be the 5. And then if you look at the Bucks roster, they're going to trot out a starting lineup. You'll imagine – I'm going to honestly imagine it'll probably be Dame Lillard, Pat Connaughton, Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Brook. That's the starting 5s we have to contend with as the Miami Heat. Middleton, that's what I meant. Middleton, sorry, Middleton. Tripping. Yeah, Middleton. So what are we thinking when it comes to the Miami Heat and competing with those lineups for the Celtics again? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, and Horford. And for the Bucks, we assume it's probably going to be Dame, Connaughton, Giannis, Middleton, and Lopez. What are we thinking? How are we feeling? Do they scare you as the Miami Heat? Do you feel like they got better as individual teams? They got worse? What did the deals do for them? Anything on your feelings on those two teams and how they stack up against the Miami Heat as we close? We'll let everybody get their spew off. If everybody wants to respond to somebody once or twice, you can do so, but we'll kind of wrap this up in the next 7 to 8 minutes here. That's the topic. Let's go first, Kev.
Did they both get better? Of course, but I don't think it's extremely better to the point where the Heat can't beat them. Like, to me, how I look at it, obviously Dame is an upgrade from Drew, right, when it comes to the Bucks. But at the same time, who's the best defender in Milwaukee right now? Who's the best defensive player in Milwaukee right now? Like,
probably Brook.
Two-time defensive player of the year, Giannis. What are we doing here?
No.
Giannis,
help defender,
that's the problem right there. Exactly. Giannis is not guarding the ball. You know why? Because if Giannis really was about it, he would be guarding Jimmy in the playoffs. But it's a reason that they don't do that because he can't. That's not his game. He's a help side defender. It's a difference. Do your research on that. But that's my point right there, right? As great as they are offensively, defensively, they all have issues, right? If you're asking a 35, 30, about to be 36-year-old Brook Lopez to hold down the rim for you, that's a problem. And the Celtics, to me, have the same issue. They're going to miss Robert Williams. He might not have been their best defender, but he was their most important defender because he held down the rim. And now you're about to ask,
especially against Miami.
Exactly. And now you're about to ask Kristaps Porzingis to protect the rim. Okay, have fun with that. And then on top of that, people talking about Kristaps Porzingis like he's an all-star. His stats to me are just as comparable to Tyler Herro's.
And he got to be on the floor first, Kev.
Exactly. He was putting up empty numbers on one of the worst teams in the league last year. He was playing with one of the best playmakers in the league a few years ago, and he couldn't make it work there because his ego was too big. So I don't know what he's about to do being a third option in Boston when he couldn't even be a second option next to Luka Doncic. Because if you know, Kyrie about to get the rock in Dallas. They wasn't giving him the rock at all in Dallas. So that's neither here nor there. But for them too, they both lacking rim protection. The Bucks specifically, defensively, they're gonna be whatever. Offensively, they'll have it. I'm not concerned about that. They'll be able to put up numbers, but that's my biggest thing. They're gonna need one of them younger guys to step up because you can't expect all three of those dudes to carry you through the regular season and the playoffs. They need one of them young guns, like how we've been dependent on those young guys. Milwaukee needs one of them to be, whether it's Malik Beasley, which I don't even want to say that name, but I'm gonna say it because that's the roster. Andre Jackson or Margin Beauchamp, because the issue with them last year, they was dependent on Wesley Matthews and Joe Ingles, and both of them was non-existent.
I think it's gonna be Beauchamp. If there's any, I think Beauchamp got to be the guy. It got to be him. He got to take the next
one of them. And then I'll just say it again, to me, both of them have flaws. They got major flaws that they're gonna have to hinder. As much as I do not want to say this, I like Boston's team a little bit more just because Drew gives them the exact thing that they've been missing, which is a true traditional point guard. They never really had that. They were trying to make Marcus Smart it. He was more of a makeshift. Malcolm Brogdon, he was trying to score and get his own, and he was injured. He didn't really want to be there. Came out so we'll see. But again, to me, neither one of them is protecting the rim, and who gets to the rim better than all these teams is us with Jimmy and Bam. So that's where I'll end my plane at.
I mean, to Kev's point, I think I agree with a lot of the notions. Robert Williams was very effective against the Miami Heat, so losing him absolutely hurts. In my opinion, they lost to three guys that you consider their heart and soul. When you talk about the guy that held their middle down, which was Rob Williams, when you talk about their toughness, which was Grant Williams, when you talk about the guy who literally was the figurative heart and soul of the unit, could talk to anybody like he needed to, wanted to, and had to, Marcus Smart. I don't know if you added enough to make up for that. At best, it's neutral. Even if you look at the Bucks, that situation is kind of neutral to me as well. And I think you bring it up, Kev, because you're dependent on an aging Brook Lopez to now be your last line of defense when you were a top flight defensive team last year. Well, hey, you just shipped off Drew Holiday. Yes, you add 4 to 8 more points per game by adding Damian Lillard, but are you now giving up 10 to 15 more points a game? When you're making moves, you have to consider what happens on both sides. And I feel like for me, don't get me wrong, you add one of the most elite scorers and you're going to be able to blow people out of the building if they cannot keep up with you. But if you cannot stop them, then you're going to have problems. And that's something they're going to have to figure out before they can actually get to the things that a lot of people think they're going to get to. And last thing before I kick it to Alex real quick to touch on his thoughts on this topic, is Kristaps the third option? Do you trust Drew first? Because I might get a rock to Drew before I gave it to Kristaps.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Drew first, but I mean, when I said that, I was saying before they got Drew, to me, I wasn't even thinking about it. But me personally, yeah, I'm giving it to Drew. It's not even a question.
So yeah, he's a fourth option, bro.
Even then, it's not moving me. But
no, that's a fact. No. I agree with you. I'm just saying, can he find a way to be effective and be happy and be content and play his role on the team as the fourth option? I picked my mic. My bad, guys. I got passionate about that one because I hate the Celtics. But what say you, Alex? How you feeling about the Bucks and the Celtics right now?
Both of those groups got better, man. I mean, they each lost depth this offseason, but I mean, they gained some talent as well. Obviously, with Damian Lillard being a top 75 guy, and then Drew Holiday being arguably one of the best two-way guards in the league, and then Kristaps, obviously, I mean, came in the league as 7'3" unicorn and everything. So like with Kristaps, like Kay was saying, and like Kay was saying, like it depends on how he's going to accept his role. I do also think that they're going to miss Rob Williams a crap ton. In regards to the situation and with the Bucks, like obviously, I mean the Dame was already talking about it today. With him and Giannis in regards to them running the pick and roll, like it's going to be interesting to see how a lot of teams go about trying to stop that. But like I said earlier, I think both of those teams are going to win a whole bunch of games this season. But when April, May, and June hit, and they got to line up in a 7-game series and look across the way, and they see dudes with Miami across their chest, with Eric Spoelstra standing there, with Chris Quinn in his ear, and Karan Butler, and all our guys who are on the coaching staff. I think they're going to still have a little bit of fear in their heart. And that's what matters to me. And I know we're not going to have no fear in our hearts stepping on the court in a game, in a 7-game series versus those guys. But I just know that they're going to be thinking in the back of their heads, like, I mean, yeah, we got all these boys with us, but what do they have schemed up? Like, is it going to be like last year? Is it going to be like the year before? Like,
do we got more talent than they got heart? That's the question.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Like is the Heat culture gonna be able to overcome all the overwhelming talent that they have? That's what I feel about it. But I mean, hey, it's gonna be exciting to see.
Joe, what say you?
For me personally, it's like, listen, I'll say this with the moves. I mean, you guys basically summed it up. Like, obviously, the Celtics and Bucks, teams like them, they got better. But the thing is for me, as long as they don't have some of their other guys, because this is the way how I look at it specifically for the Celtics. You got rid of Malcolm Brogdon. You got rid of Robert Williams. You got rid of Marcus Smart, and then somebody else, some whose name I'm forgetting. I forgot who, but you got rid of 4 key.
You don't have Grant Williams. You don't have Grant Williams.
Yep. So Grant Williams. You don't have those 4 guys, but then you go in and you bring in what's their names? You bring in Porzingis and you bring in what's his name, Drew Holiday, and I think that was obviously it makes them better, but it goes into what you guys mentioned earlier, where how much does it really improve the team, though? It's not by that much of a huge margin. So because of that, none of this really does concern me. And I wanted to say this earlier, but obviously we didn't want to get into the other topics. Like, Jimmy owns Drew Holiday. All right. This man dropped 37 on that man's head. And he even said it, as he was getting ready to send this man home in 5 games. Like, I own you. So I'm not really concerned about it. Obviously, they are going to be a threat. But at the end of the day, it was a Boston person. Y'all know who I'm talking about, who went out and said that the Heat are like friggin' Michael Myers, where they come out and they're gonna basically torture you, they're gonna harass you, they're gonna put you through everything they possibly can. They're basically like zombies and stuff. And one thing about the Heat is that, how do I say this? Like, if you beat them, all right, that's great, but they're still going to put you through so much hell. Like, they're going to put you through a whole torture chamber by the time the series is over, that you're not even going to feel 100% going into that next series, because that's how it is being against the Heat team, all that physicality and everything. So with that being said, I'm always going to be down for the challenge. I still believe in our guys. I still believe in what Spo is capable of doing. So with that all being said, like, bring it on. Like, bring Damian Giannis on, bring Drew Holiday, Tatum, and Brown on. I do not care, man. I'm rocking with this team any day of the week.
I want George to be extremely mad by the time he talks, and he seems to be getting frustrated as everybody continues to talk. So, Dame, I'll let you touch on how you feeling about the Celtics and the Bucks and the moves they made, how the Heat might stack up in relation to them before we let George close the show out with what I'm sure will be a bang.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a bang. George, I never seen George more quiet and pissed in the year that I know in this man. He going to drop a bomb. I'm telling y'all. So be prepared. But, anyway, speaking on these two teams, I didn't agree with a lot of you guys were saying. I'm not even gonna lie. I disagree with a lot, what you guys were saying. I think that these acquisitions helped both teams a ton, especially Boston, because if we look over the 2 years of us facing Boston in the playoffs, what would you guys say the Celtics was missing in these past 2 years? Was what? A point guard, right? A facilitator, someone who can handle the rock, facilitate, and get those guys open. It was a point guard, and they got that in Drew Holiday. I'm not too afraid of Drew Holiday on the defensive end. Yes, he's one of the best defenders, but he can be had. And obviously we seen that in the playoffs. I'm more so worried about the length versus Miami. I'm not talking about other teams against Miami. I'm more worried about the length. Yes, the Time Lord, they end up shipping him out to get Drew Holiday. That was that was the biggest hit. Was giving up Robert Williams. It wasn't Marcus Smart. It wasn't Grant Williams. It wasn't Michael Brogdon. Anyway, Michael Brogdon didn't produce a lot with Boston last year anyway. But anyway, I believe it's the length. The length is going, like us going against Boston is going. We have problems with teams with length, and this team has length. That's what's going to hurt us. And on the Milwaukee front, listen, getting Dame was huge. We can all agree with that. It was huge. They didn't have to give up much. Yes, they had to give up Drew Holiday. But Kay, I believe you said it's maybe 4 points off. Is some what you said about that?
I mean, Dame averaged 32, but you have to think about scoring in terms of what I'm saying, averaged across a whole game. In the grand scheme of things, adding Dame to that roster and taking Drew Holiday off adds about 6 to 12 maybe to your final total a game.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I honestly believe that this put them in the driving seat. Obviously, like paper wise, it put them on in the driving seat as the front runners to make it to the finals.
I feel you, man, but you still got to get stopped.
We have to see it on court. We have to see it on court. But I think this was a big difference. Because now we're not relying on Giannis having the ball on top of the key, dribbling and putting his head down to the basket. Same thing with Boston. They don't have to see Jaylen Brown bring the ball up. They have a real legitimate point guard to help facilitate and get these guys open and put them in the best spot. So
we've been going a minute here, so I want you to touch on this before you go and we let George go, because I wanted to mention it when you brought up Boston, but now I got to say something about it. Now I get it. You're right. You're absolutely right. But these guys, JB, JT, Giannis, they're at their absolute peakiest peak when they're going ISO with the rock. So in my belief, you're actually going to take some of their superpower away from them by taking the ball out of their hand. Thank you, is what I'm saying. Go ahead.
No, but see, the thing is, Boston should want the ball out of Jaylen Brown's hand.
But you can't just look at it in a vacuum with Jaylen Brown. Like, it's going to take touches from him and Jason Tatum. Like, it's the whole effect. And I get what you're saying, but are they effective as off-ball players? I can't answer that because they haven't shown us that, bro.
I think Tatum has. I'm a huge Tatum fan, obviously. I love Tatum. Like, that's the only good thing that comes from Boston to me is Jason Tatum. Obviously, him going to Duke, that's the reason why. But Tatum is that guy. Like, he can play off the ball.
He can, and we agree there. But let me ask you this before you finish up and we let George go. He can play off the ball, but is Tatum a top 10 guy without his isolation ability?
Yes.
No, yes. I don't think if he was just forced, he couldn't be Ray Allen, point blank period. Without his isolation ability, he's not a top 10 player. But that's what I'm saying, though, Dean. What
I'm saying is I don't think he needs the ball to be effective.
I think that you're right, but in order to be the guy that can absolutely kill a team by himself,
he does need the ball. And I think that's what I'm saying.
We have to wait and see. We can agree to disagree on
Absolutely.
this topic.
Oh, of course. There'll be a lot of Biscayne breakdown. I was going to shout it out.
Absolutely.
Real quickly too, before George closes out, the Bucks also have a rookie head coach too, so that can
absolutely.
Yeah,
I forget about that.
I forgot to mention that when Alex was talking, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, you 100% right. So we have to see how this coach plays out.
That's also something you got to mention with the Bucks. Yeah, you like Damian Lillard having the rock in his hand, but Dame want to shoot from 40. And don't get me wrong, when it's Dame Lillard, you can count on that a whole lot. But that ain't the same as Giannis putting his head down, getting to the cup, drawing fouls, getting everybody in foul trouble. Like I said, taking touches away from these guys in the areas that they've shown to be most effective in, it might not be as all bad as we're thinking. That's all I'm saying.
But that's going to Giannis putting the ball down, putting his head down, and attacking the basket. That's going to open up a lot for Dame. You know, when you back there on top.
Oh no, I agree. Driving kick gonna be a mother.
Yeah,
I mean the pick and roll
hurt. And then you got Middleton over there on the elbow or in the corner. It's going to hurt.
Is he healthy though? See, there's so many questions we got to ask. Is Middleton knee right? Because I don't know. George, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Look, I've heard you guys spew for the last 15 minutes now about this. Every team has their question marks. Boston, their depth is screwed. After Derek White, their team is hot garbage. It's like Luke Cornetto and Sam Hauser type of bad. So like,
Pritchard don't move you?
Who? The racist? No. The Confederate? Absolutely not, bro. That guy is terrible. No, there is no chance. No, does not move me. Those teams have holes, big time. You are a Kristaps Porzingis away from starting Sam Hauser at the 4. That's how bad that is.
And we all got to admit that that's a 50-50 likelihood. That's not a possibility. That's a likelihood. When you
the only reason I say it's more 60-40 that he stays healthy is because he just came off a pretty good season. But in terms of games played, I think he played 68 games. But that's in a vacuum because he played for a team that didn't expect him to play that hard, that they didn't need him to play that hard. But they actually works the same way because now he's on a team where they're not going to expect him to do everything because there's 3 players in front of him who are just better. Plain and simple, just better. When it comes to what Joel was saying about the Drew Holiday pickup, that's big for them because their biggest mistake in the playoffs, their 2 biggest mistakes, was not being able to handle the zone defense from Miami and not having a real facilitator. And Jaylen Brown was having 7 turnovers a game because he couldn't dribble with his left. That's a big thing. Taking that aspect out of it, that factor gone, where they're looking good in that sense. Milwaukee's got their own problems. They've got depth. They've got Beauchamp. They've got Campaign. They've got Malik Beasley, Robin Lopez. Like it's the same thing though. Like there's a lot of questions with them. But the problem is, the problem that where it stands with Miami is that these teams went out and refreshed their roster. I forget who it was, but was it Kev or Alex who was saying before that this Heat's team is stale. Now, forget stale when now you're bringing back a guy from 5 years ago as a new acquisition, Josh Richardson. That's not revamped. That's not a refresh.
Be fair though, George. We didn't want to move him to get Jimmy, so to bring him back is pretty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he's ass. He's not good. He wasn't good. He's not been good since he left. He's been terrible. In Philly, he was crap.
You can come to this game breakdown too, because that's something we'll have to spend another hour on.
At the Celtics, he was terrible. At the Spurs, he was bad. He was bad. These are the things. At the Dallas
Celtics and Bucks, George. Celtics and Bucks. We're gonna argue with you about that next week, but believe we're gonna argue with you about that.
Look, it's that Heat culture though that made him good.
Oh, that Heat culture, man. Yeah, James Johnson on a 4-year
deal. Why did you do that?
James Johnson on a 4-year deal. Willie Reed, 2 years, $5 million. Yeah. Do you remember Willie Reed? The 6'10".
Hey, George, I was a big fan of Will Reed when he was over here.
I wanted him too.
Yeah, I loved him when he was over here in Miami.
That's a player came through the system and now he's flipping those patties with aggression. Like he's not doing anything. He's not in the NBA.
Hey, yo.
You're
So let's keep the
disrespectful,
convo
brother.
going. It's an hour 45 minutes, man. We've been out.
Yeah, man, George. So, George, the way you feeling is both teams got.
You guys just went on a 25-minute tangent on how, you know, and the one thing I do give you credit for is the Jason Tatum argument with the ball out of his hands. He is nowhere near the play he is without his isolation ball. Completely and utterly agree. His pull-up threat maybe is something to be worried about, but at the same time, I don't give it that much respect. Now, if you're putting them one-on-one, I think the Heat have more trouble against the Celtics than they do against the Milwaukee Bucks, only because Bam Adebayo and Highsmith and Jimmy fed, and they destroyed Giannis, and they destroyed those players. They deserve to win like they did. But now you add Dame into the conversation, and you're taking no Gabe Vincent. So your best defensive guard right now is RJ Hampton and Josh Richardson. Those are your two best defensive guards. Tyler Herro is crap defensively. Complete shit. Just not good. Sorry, Joel. And then you got a 37-year-old Kyle Lowry. I can't wait to play Kyle Lowry on Dame when he pulls up from 37. It's gonna be sick.
Cook, George.
He's gonna eat us alive. And then Jimmy's gonna have to go and move over and play some of that defense. Like I said, this team is Miami, especially in the regular season. We're gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle. And it might get to a point, like I said before, and this is gonna segue into a whole new thing. A whole new thing, which I'm not even going to get into that hard. But if it gets to a point where Jimmy goes that they're non-competitive, he will leave. And that will spark more interest than the team that is now. I'm begging, pray for a day that Jimmy says, please let me go. Trade me at the deadline. And the New York Knicks 5 first-round picks and 4 seconds for Jimmy Butler. Please.
This
This is where we were, and this is where we were when we closed the Heat versus the World pod the other day, where it was just me, George, and Joe mainly. At the end there, Alex had to leave early. I wish he could have stuck around to hear that blasphemy, but now he probably sees that he made the best decision. George is officially on the trade Jimmy Butler train. He's up there by himself though. I'm assuming. We're definitely gonna have to get more into that. We're gonna get more into the roster makeups. We're gonna get more into the matchups. We'll definitely be bringing more content from you guys, to you guys from the entire Heat versus the World family. This game breakdown with me and Dim, of course, featuring all these guys whenever they want to come, how much ever, whenever. We're gonna be bringing that to you. We also got the kickback where we touch on everything from the world of sports to the world of culture. Everywhere. We had an episode. We're working on that situation, but I promise you it's coming. Other than that, man, look. It's going to be a fun year. It might not be pleasant to begin or while they sorting things out, but I think it's going to be a fun year from a Miami Heat perspective. I think that I'm sorry, George caught me off guard, people. I think that it's going to be a year of surprises. I think it's going to be a year where the Miami Heat completely Miami Heats their way into a lot of situations from the fact of having to outwork people, just being meaner than people, things like that. But at the same time, I mean, as long as we got George here to tell us about things that he's making up in his mind, I think we'll always have something to talk about. So to close the show, guys, anybody got any final remarks?
George on Biscayne, man. George, how your people call my people, man? Come back home for an episode or two, man.
I may just have to. If I can draft Kev and Alex onto the show as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Kev is always welcome, man. He's always
Kev a regular, man, and like I said,
Alex looks like he's got some repressed anger, and I need this on my side. I need that argument for my sake. I need
Alex is very logical. I want Alex on the show because I need somebody else to keep the peace.
There's something else in there. I can feel it. I need him to get angry at me. I'll just say some stupid stuff, and then I need.
Yo, he don't look like he's gonna get angry all season.
I said, did you just call that man Bruce Banner?
Dang.
Bruce Banner, the Hulk. No.
What you got, Joel? What you got, man? Anything to close the show, Capitan?
Yeah, man, I don't know because hour 50 minutes in, I'm swamped as hell right now. All I'm gonna just say is this. Yeah, shout outs to all y'all on the stream right now for making it through. Like, I don't know how we made it this far. But here we are. So shout outs to each and every one of you guys, to all those watching. Make sure you follow everyone that's here right now. And yeah, we got some great content heading your way. As Kay said, Biscayne breakdown, the kickback. Also, we got content from our Dolphin side of things and a lot more. So just stay with it. And, you know, it's going to be a fun season, regardless of if we have Dame or not. So let's have fun. And aside from that, I ain't got nothing more to say. I just want to go to sleep after this finishes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Look, man, you know how I do it on the Biscayne breakdown. But since we didn't have that music coming in, I'm going to pull a Joel. I'm going to say, look, it's over, and hit my music because we out.